Hello everyone, so I'm going to be doing a trying to keep short tutorial on how to convert an object to an accessory in The Sims 4. Again, just please, I'm just gonna say this now because the last time I did a tutorial, I was assuming that you guys had kind of basic knowledge already of Blender and stuff, and I had a lot of people comment and say you're not telling us anything, when I really did try my best. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm not doing this because I have to do it. I'm making these tutorials because I want to help you guys know how to do this stuff to make your games better, and so that you can have more fun and be more open to making your games really nice and having good setups and stuff, because you know this stuff. So just please keep that in mind. And I am going to tell you that I am assuming that you have basic knowledge of Blender. There's a million tutorials on YouTube on how to tell you how to move the camera and do the controls in Blender, and I'm not going to be telling you everything I'm clicking. I will be telling you some stuff that I am doing because some videos might not be specific in what I'm doing, but other than that, I'm assuming you have basic knowledge of Blender, because, I'm not very good at explaining stuff okay, click this button. It's just very, tedious. Anyways, so let's get into it. So obviously you're gonna have your object picked out. My object that I'm picking out is a wooden spoon by, a wooden spoon by Around the Sims 4. So basically all you're going to do is export the mesh. So object mesh. And you're going to export the texture as well. And I like to export it as a PNG because it usually comes out higher quality. But it really just depends on the texture. So you can kind of play around with that. So texture. Then I'm going to close this and go into create 3D mesh in CAS. And I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to go to custom. Oops, wrong one. And I have my own, thing in here to help me, kind of with the hats category. I'm going to link you to an accessory that you can use as a reference, and literally all you need to do is take the package that you've downloaded, go into your documents, Sims 4 Studio, mods, and put it in there. You don't have to do this, but I don't know how to fix the issue where the hair is cut off when you import it into the hat category. So I suggest you do that. I'm going to link you an object that, an accessory object that someone's made using the hat category. I already have one in mind, so I'm going to link you to it. Okay, so if you were totally confused on what I just said, then you should probably listen to this. If you weren't confused at all on what I just said, then you don't have to listen to this. But basically what I just said is I'm going to link you an object that already has the hat cut off, so it doesn't affect the Sims hair or anything. If you're not using this the hat category, you don't have to listen to this part, but I mean, you probably should if you want to use the hat category in the future. But if you're not using the hat category, then this does not matter at all, and you could totally ignore this. That's all I needed to say. So anyways, back to the video. So I'm gonna click that, and I'm gonna overwrite this. So name it, obviously. This is a cup that I haven't released, otherwise I would just link you to this because I haven't gotten the permission yet. Because I only messaged them earlier today. This is a cup that I converted to an accessory. I need permission from 2 people. One, because I used someone's texture from The Sims 3 that I really enjoyed it. It was a fall texture. And 2, somebody's object that I converted to an accessory. And I need permission from both. So I'm gonna remove the color. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to export the accessory. Again, you could use like the bracelets category or anything like that. But I use the hats category to get a higher quality texture because you can make the hats category has a bigger UV area. So I'm going to name this accessory mesh. Once that's done, you can open it in Blender. So I'm just going to double click it because it's easy because it just opens it. Move that out of the way. So I'm just going to hide this for now. I'm going to open these. I'm going to go File, Append. I'm going to take the Object Mesh, and I'm going to click Object. And I'm only going to import the S4 Studio Mesh 1 because I don't need the green box that, like, when you click on the item in build or buy mode, and, like, there's a green box around it showing you the area it covers. I'm not going to import that, but you can import all of them if you're not sure, like, because some of them, like, the box, like, the plane is not S4 Studio Mesh 0, but for the most part, it is. But this one I know for a fact. You can import anything that says S4 Studio Mesh, and then just delete the stuff you don't need later on. So I'm going to click this, and basically now is the, like, you just have to position it. So if you have trouble, like, not knowing where you want to position it, and this is for, like, if you want to make it usable for a pose, all you need to do is just, like, pick up an object in person that, like, you would hold that's similar to that, and then just see how you'd hold it. I know it sounds a little weird because you're just, like, in your room or wherever you are, and you're just, like, holding an object, but it literally really does help. So I'm going to click 7 and rotate this 180 degrees so it's facing the front. I'm going to move to this side and move it up a little bit, and then I'm going to move it to the side, down, and this is where we got to get up close and personal. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, so R90, and kind of just position it. Now, this, obviously, I'm going to make it so that they're holding it out more like this, and I'm going to move it up a little bit. See how it's doing over here. And this looks like, it's okay if it clips. Like, some of my items, like, literally clip the thumb like that. It's okay, because if you're making a pose with it, you can literally just move it out of the way later. So this looks pretty good. Like, maybe there. So you're going to delete this rig 0.001, and you can delete the other object if you want. Well, you have to eventually, but I'm just going to do it now. So you have to rename this to S4 Studio _mesh _1. Now, this is the part that's extremely important. So what you need to do is you need to, well, there's actually two parts here that is important. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go in edit mode, which is here, edit mode, or you can just click tab. Select everything, which is A. Go to this here, where there's like a block, there's like a cylinder and like a sphere. Where it says S4 Studio Cast Tools, click Type and click Geom. You need to click that, otherwise it won't even show up in Sims 4 Studio. Then you need to change the cut number to 0000. And now, how do I know how to change the cut number? What do I need to change the cut number to? You're probably wondering how I know that. Well, I've done this so many times that I know this by heart, but if you're new to all this stuff, I'm going to show you an example. So you don't need to do this part. All you need to do is watch if you're wondering what the hell, how'd she do that? So I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to change this to 2. Because let's say your item has 2 groups. So you would change this cut number to 0001, and it goes up by 1 each time with each group that you have. Just, you know, in case. So, but we don't have 2 groups, so we're going to delete this. So if you had like a third group, you would 0002, stuff like that. So this next part I'm going to show you is completely crucial. If you don't do this, it will not move with the hand. It will not. So this you must pay attention to. So what I'm gonna show you something, and you're gonna thank me if you've never seen it before, and if you have seen it before, then you're gonna be like, same old, same old. Doesn't matter. So either way, we win. So this is a complete joint list for the Sims 4 skeletons. This one, we need the hand. So instead of looking through this whole list, we're going to click Control, and we're going to click F. And in this corner, there's a search bar. Type in hand. There's 2 that light up. There's 4 of them all together, but these are really the ones that we need. Just the BR hand or the BL hand. I'm putting it in this Sim's right hand. So I'm going to use the BR hand. But if you're putting it in your Sim's left hand, you use the BL hand. So literally, I'm lazy. I don't like typing it in. So I'm just going to hover over this and click Control-C to copy. Now I'm back in Blender, and I'm going to go to this triangle here, upside down triangle. I'm going to go to Edit Mode. I'm going to delete this Transform Bone. If your object does not have something that says Transform Bone, don't worry about it. We don't need it anyways. So you're going to click this plus button. You're going to double click this, erase group, and then you're going to Control V to paste the joint that you just copied. Now it doesn't stop there because yes, that was part of the crucial part, but this is the most crucial part and it is the simplest part. If you do not click this button that says assign, it will not assign it to that joint and it will not move with that Sim's hand. Or whatever joint. So click assign. That was the crucial part. Because now, at this point, we have the spoon moving with the hand. So, now this is the part that a lot of people have issues with. I find this to be extremely easy because I've done it a million times, but a lot of people find this part to be hard. So drag, there's a little lines here, so drag that out. You can do it from either side, the left or the right. I like to drag it from the right side. Click this block here and click UV/image editor and click F to put this in the full view. Go to edit mode and make sure the whole thing is selected. And this is the UV right now, and that is not very pretty because that is not going to work for the accessory because the Sims 4 body UV is obviously very different. The thing I liked about the accessories on The Sims 3 is that you could use this whole thing for the accessories, whereas The Sims 4, there's only, you're so limited. And again, all of this stuff I'm going to link, by the way, the joint list and the UVs that I'm about to use. So I'm going to click open, and sometimes it doesn't have this here, so I'm going to cancel and open, and now it does. I'm going to go to my D drive. And, oops, locate it. Sorry, I have like 2 different drives, so it's been difficult because I've only had it for a couple months, and I'm still having trouble. I'm going to open the UV. This is the UV I use. There's another UV linked, but I don't like using that one for various reasons, and it's because it's just, like, I like it how this one shows, everything. And this one I was linked to by In a Bad Romance on Tumblr, and I was very grateful because I was having so many issues when I first started this. Anyway, so I'm going to click R and I'm going to click 90 to rotate it 90 degrees. Now this is different depending on what reference you used. If you used a bracelet, and depending on the left or the right bracelet. So let's say you used a bracelet, it's on the right hand, you're putting the UV in this box right here. If you put it in the hat category, you have this whole space. And most of the time, you're probably going to put it in the hat category because the hat category has a larger space to work with. This wooden spoon did not have to go in the hat category, but I just did it because it's easier that way. Just to show you now, instead of you being like, well, what if I want to put it in the hat category? I just figured I'd show you in this tutorial because that is probably as hard as it's going to get. So, I'm going to click S to scale it down. I'm going to move it. Obviously, it doesn't fit in here yet, but oh wait, actually, it does fit in there. Cool. So, that was the whole hard part. That was the big fat hard part that everybody has a problem with. You literally just scale it down. Now you click UV, export UV layout, and you're gonna name it whatever you want, but I name it UV because so I can find it. Notice the texture is all borked now because there's no texture on it now because we moved the UV. So after all that stuff is said and done, we're going to save this, and we're going to go in Sims 4 Studio, and we're going to import the accessory mesh, and we're going to do this 4 times. Depending on the poly count of the mesh, though, I seriously suggest that you lower the poly count with every level of detail, but because this mesh is literally 176 polygons, I literally don't even bother to do it, because it's just like, that's like as low, that's like as low as it's probably gonna get for most things. So now we're gonna go in Photoshop. Okay, sorry. So we're gonna open the texture that we exported before from the object, and then we're gonna open the UV. So I'm gonna drag this, and then I'm gonna Control T and hold the shift button and rotate it so it stays on the axes, and I'm just gonna move this up, and I suggest lowering the opacity a little bit so you can see where you're putting your stuff. Control T again, and then just do it like that. And this is basically where I want it. So I'm going to make the opacity 100 again, and I'm going to right click and merge visible and just save it by clicking Control S, or you can go to File, Save. And then this is the texture now. And when I import it, there is the texture. So this is the part that's also pretty important. So I'm just gonna right click this and then just take the color from there to make my life easier. So you need a shadow map and all that stuff, but you can make it blank. So I'm gonna import my blank one, and I have this stuff uploaded so you can see. So I'm gonna import the blank one. The specular, I'm going to import the blank specular, and the normal, I'm going to import my normals. So then I'm going to go to categories. Do you want this to be for male or female? Do you want it to be for elder Sims? Which age appropriate do you want it to be for? Stuff like that. Make sure, you know, change this stuff. It's just like, just to be more neat and organized. So basically just keep it like that, and then click save. And I like to just screenshot so I can easily find it. I like to just screenshot the spoon. Actually, it's more like supposed to be like that. And sorry, that's so loud. Just so I can easily find it. And I'm going to save this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in game. Okay, so this is the wooden spoon in game. Now, this is the texture in game, and now you can go and make like cool, I mean, this is the object in game as an accessory, so now you can make cool poses and stuff and all that great stuff. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. I hope that it was informative, and I'm sorry if I wasn't like, you know, telling you, oh, click this, click that, because I just didn't want it to be like too dragged on, because then this video would have probably been another like 15 minutes longer. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped. And if you have questions, like, I'll try and answer them, but I'm horrible at answering questions, like, not because like I don't want to, just because like I'm bad at explaining things over text. So okay, anyways, goodbye.